You're watching PPMA TV, sponsored by Markham Homage. But I am here now with the wonderful Chris, who is the managing director, but also the founder. I've been working for, what, 25 years?
23 years. 23 years now, so.
Amazing, at Holmach. And we are about to learn about the fantastic work that they are up to within the industry. Chris, I mean, first off, congratulations on 23 years with your company.
It's a long journey, and it's not always been very straightforward, but no, we still love it, and we still turn up each time. And we've been part of the PPMA now for all that time, and before that, in my previous company, I was director at PPMA, so I'm quite a fan of the organisation. So it does well for us. And over the years, we've had lots of solid inquiries. I think it's always challenging to get visitor numbers, but certainly the quality we've seen so far has been very good.
And it's wonderful. I mean, obviously, the world has been through a bit of a challenging time over the last few years, but we are seeing, the last 2 days, it's really picked up with numbers. It's fantastic.
It has, and today's been very busy for us. So, again, we've seen a good quality of people coming through. Lots of old friends, which is great. Always nice to see the existing customers, but certainly we've picked up some really good inquiries from being here.
Wonderful. Okay, well, let's get down to business, shall we? So, for anyone who might go, oh, hold on, I've got no idea what Holmach does, could you tell us a little bit about what it is that you do?
Yes, absolutely. What we specialise is in thermal processing. So that covers anything from rapid heating to rapid cooling on all types of products. So not only food products, but things like starches and products for cosmetics, detergents, and so on and so forth. And anything that involves a thermal process that needs pasteurisation and sterilisation, we're the market leaders in that within the UK. And we cover all kinds of things on sterilisation, including aseptic technologies, and plant proteins at the moment are very, 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 very popular. Everybody wants to try and get away from using traditional meat products to sustainable vegetable products, and a lot of our inquiries at the moment are focused around getting great flavours into organic but sustainable ingredients.
Yeah, I think you're so right, and it is a trend, and probably not just in this industry, just as like globally, actually making things a little bit either vegan, but also, like you say, more sustainable when it comes to moving away from synthetics and plastics into that more natural. And we've got that as an offering, which is amazing.
Yes, I mean, a lot of the work we've been doing in research, funnily enough, that lockdown gave us an opportunity to really reset and focus on new products that were being asked for by our client base. And a lot of our clients are multinational blue chip. And of course, they sense the wind of change, and they need to make their products far more natural than they have been in the past. I think the consumers are better educated about the ingredients that they see in their products, regardless of whether it's food or what we call non-food. And they're looking to see those natural ingredients come through rather than using chemicals and other products. And that's, as a business, we've been championing the use of thermal processing cooking techniques to give good flavour or good colour without the need for specialist modified ingredients.
I think it's really interesting you say there about that lockdown gave you the actual opportunity to do it. Sometimes we don't have those moments to rest and stop.
Indeed.
So actually it's brilliant that you've come back and you've gone, okay, well, we've now got these solutions for you.
Yeah, and I think, as you say, it's when things stop, you get your initial panic takes over, and then after that you say, well, where is the market going? And because the pressure's not on you to instantaneously deliver, you can stand back and say, well, what do we need to be looking at in terms of development in order to meet future market needs? And we had that opportunity. So some of the things that we've developed and we're launching this year are especially aimed at what we would call not novel foods, but foods that have ingredients that don't come from a modified background.
That's fantastic. And with that in mind, well, let's have a little look at some of the technologies and machines that you are showcasing this year. I know we're sort of standing between sort of three of them here. So, talk us through what we've got.
Well, if we start over here, this is a product that's a machine that we've developed aimed at three-dimensional filling. And what looks like a printed label, a sleeved label, is actually the product itself. So we're printing two different colours, filling two different colours into the bottle, and you can make different patterns. So you can do horizontal stripes, you can do vertical stripes, you can do swirls, any of those types of things. And it's aimed mainly at what we would call the personal care marketplace. So in this case, you can see it's an Olay shampoo bottle, but there are obviously other brands, and they all look to make what they looks like a natural hand-filled product with different patterns for different bottles as they run down the line. So in this case, we've got 10 bottles being filled, and each one of them can have a different pattern in it, which is programmed from the control system on the machine.
Oh, that's fantastic. And also, actually, it eliminates the need for that massive wrap as well, which again sort of eliminates a bit of waste and possible plastic.
Then all you need is your declaration label and your branding on the front, but it means you don't then need a highly expensive sleeve label to be able to give that impression that people want when they want to pick personal care products off the shelves.
Yeah, of course they do. We still want it to look fabulous, and that's really giving that solution.
Yeah, it does, and I think certainly we're seeing a lot more of this, especially where we look at, again, some of the newer brands in the marketplace who are looking at much more natural ingredients. A lot of them are fruit or spice-based, and they want to put organic ingredients rather than chemical compounds in, and that just plays into that natural look that people are seeking.
That's fantastic. All right, well, let's move on to number 2, which is over here. What's going on here? What's this machine doing?
So this is a company called Perfinox. They're based in Portugal, and they specialise in scrape surface heat exchangers, and a scrape surface heat exchanger is something that adds or takes away heat. And in this particular instance, we've developed a system for cooking native starch. So that's unmodified starches, which are very clean label, they're very natural, which means that you can then incorporate them into products where otherwise you'd have to have a declared modified ingredient. So specifically, in this case, it's for starch. And we use starch in all kinds of different products, so from sauces and soups through to things like mayonnaise on the food side, and then into things like fabric conditioner, shampoos and other products where you need a thickener in the product to be able to deliver the fragrance and the essence. And being able to cook the product first, turn it into a wallpaper paste, looks like a wallpaper paste, and then add it into your product means that you have a natural product rather than a highly modified, expensive ingredient.
And again, sometimes it's just going back to basics. I say go back to basics. I know it's very complex technology, but actually that really, like you say, it's the complex, the expensive materials that actually people don't want.
It cuts huge amounts of cost out for the manufacturers as well, because these starches which have to be modified to work are very expensive. And probably, you can say probably 50, 60, 70% of the cost of the ingredients if you go to something that's not been modified away to a native starch. But of course you then need to cook it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think those numbers do speak for themselves, which is amazing. Okay, and then finally we can just have a little look around. We've got another machine going on over here, and I think this one's dealing with slightly smaller products.
This is an Italian company called Robicubo, and they specialise in high-quality small batch mixing, cooking and cooling. So again, some of the products we have on here, one of our customers, Wilkins of Tiptree, gave us some products to give away. In this case, they've got mayonnaise and caramel sauce, but it will produce virtually anything. So ice cream toppings, ganache for chocolate makers, and then through into things like makeup, where you're using things like olive pits to grind them up to you've got for your exfoliants for your creams, and then through into things like face cream and lip balm and all those sorts of products. And it's designed to be an all-in-one solution for the smaller manufacturers. So it will probably make sort of 8 to 10 kilos at a time, but it's designed specifically to give very high quality with those organic ingredients. And again, we can cook and cool with it.
Oh, fantastic. So you really have got something here for pretty much everyone.
Well, we hope so. That's the plan anyway. So.
Amazing. And now before, I know you've been super busy and we've been darting around some of your customers coming to inquire. I know you mentioned earlier that you've been part of PPMA, since the beginning. Why is it so important that events like the show, like today, continues?
I think the problem is with many commercial shows is the costs become very high. And because some of our equipment is very big, you end up with a very high cost to exhibit. And of course we want to see these new customers. A lot of them are startups. We don't know there's no other real way other than social media to be able to meet them. And the PPMA has always delivered a very good value for money show for us. So we get good footfall, good inquiries, and the cost is reasonable. And we can bear that within what we do as our overall marketing activities. And that's why we keep coming back.
So we'll see you next year.
I hope so.
Amazing. Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Do come down and have a chat with the whole team at Holmach and find out more about their wonderful machines.